Hey, morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Woohoo! A lazy Sunday for you up in the Northern Hemisphere. Hope you guys are enjoying it up there with the family and with friends, getting out there in summer. It's your last official month of summer. I know summer can drag on, but hope you guys are enjoying it out there, having a good old barbecue. Just coming off the back, of course, the 4th of July. I hope that was great as well. We've still got volatility in the market. Obviously, we're going to talk all about that. We're going to run through the markets from crypto and, of course, get into Pulsechain. We're going to obviously cover Mafia and, of course, Rune's protocol on Bitcoin with Dog as well. So we've got a bit of everything today, covering some of the cool things that are happening. Big shout out to the syndicate out there, all the members of the family. Hope you guys are doing well too. We're going to get into that in detail. Let's get into it. We've got Lies Beneath in here. How are you today? Very good. I think the weather outside, we had some unusual fog this morning. It was like fog everywhere, pretty crazy. But yeah, we've got the winter in the southern hemisphere, haven't we? Hex Pulsex incentive for the win, 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy of this channel. Obviously, we play around with a few other things as well, but man, that is the golden horse. We're very patient. We're very patient with that. Looking for that to pay off in the future sometime during the bull market. Bring it on. Now, I don't know if you guys haven't seen the people have been reposting the Richard Hart video. I might talk about that tomorrow. But of course, that's about buying ETH, which is what we've seen happen. And of course, if that does eventually get to the rally, maybe by October at this stage, but could be earlier if we get the Ethereum ETF. We're going to talk about that too. Wookie says $200,000 incoming for the Mafia. Yeah, 190,000 US dollars in the vault. We're going to talk about that when we get to Mafia. But that was 195,000 last night, so it's moving around and at large numbers now. So it's pretty crazy. We'll talk more about that at the Mafia time. We got Craig Pitt as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Hope you're doing well. Nice to see you in the Discord. Big shout out to you. We got Archie in the house there, the Don of the Dons, the most feared Mafia family on all of Mafia is the syndicate. Big shout out to Archie. And a lot of people are pretty terrified of him. They should have good reason. He's a bit unpredictable psychopath, but we love him. We love him. He's great. We got Crypto Fury in the house as well. Hello all. Good to see you, Crypto Fury. Hope you're doing well. Another syndicate member. Big shout out. The syndicate is rolling mob deep, says the Don. Nice to see Archie. We got Brian in the house there, our community leader in the Discord. Big shout out to you. In fact, both Archie and Brian are both community leaders in our Discord. Big shout out both of you. Really appreciate it. And nice to see Brian back as well. Really cool. Yes. Hey, put your hand up. You got a question? You got a question? Let us know. Was that a Superman? Is that a Superman? I don't know. All right, let's get into it, folks. Let's get in and see how the markets are wrapping up. Let's pull that in. And here we go. Do you guys like red? It's red, unfortunately. We've had so many green times. We're back in the red again. Bitcoin deciding to move down on the lazy Sunday. We know normally Sunday is a weekday, generally speaking, and we're getting that today in the US. And of course, $55,810, down 4.15% after making a bit of a rebound yesterday. So we're getting a bit of a waterfall going on here. So obviously we don't want that to happen. We've got 52.75% is the Bitcoin dominance at the moment. We've got Ethereum there down 4% at 2,944, back under 3,000. It was just over that before the live stream earlier, so it's just sort of been drifting down. We have things, everything in dark red is over 5% down. So you got BNB is down 6.7%. You got Solana down 7.5%. You got XRP down 6.4% and ADA down 6.3% as well. So those are some of the big moves down. Matic, some of the less ones that have moved down less is 4.5% for Tron. What's that? 4.9% for the Litecoin, almost 5%. And then you got Matic as well, down 4.6%. So some of the leaders there are drifting down. But of course, meme coins are a leverage play, obviously, and they are all down pretty strongly there. You got Pepe down 14%, SHIB down 10%, and Dodge actually down 8%. Of course, Dodge being the leader out of all the meme coins. Man, it has come down. We're going to look at that as well today when we get up to the meme coin section. So that is it overall. And of course, an opportunity to DCA, I guess, once you feel like the bottom has come in. And of course, we had a nice reprieve yesterday, didn't we? For at least a day and a half, maybe. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin here this chart tells us it all, right? This is Coinbase, Bitcoin chart on the daily. And we can see that we are ticking towards the Ethereum go live potentially this week. So we're already on Monday here, but US time, potentially this week, we might get something from the SEC. Certainly this month looking very good. There really is not much to be done there. I mean, SEC, let's see what happens. Pretty much, we talk about that. We got our best indication of them launching this month is from our Bloomberg analyst, Balcahunas, which we cover, gives us the best estimate of that. And definitely, maybe we might get lucky this week with the Ethereum ETFs. Could be a nice surprise there. All right, so we had a little 1, 2, 3, 4 days down, and then we got that interesting little Joji candle there. Not quite a butterfly, is it? But some sort of hammer. And of course, then we had a little bounce back yesterday. False solutions, and then we're down here at the moment. So are we going to get a waterfall? In other words, is it going to go down and then up and then down again? That's the question, right? And we know that we've got good defense at the moment at well, I've got it at 52,500, and of course I think we had Brendan, our Tiager, at 53. Are we going to defend that line? That's a pretty important line to defend. Obviously, if we break that line, then we're talking about 48,000 after that. So fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed. See, we did have resistance around the 48,000 mark here, back here as well. Can't even see that, but back here in January 24. So that's the beginning of the year. So fingers crossed, once we break that 200-day moving average, the chances are probably is that we are going down on Bitcoin. We've still got Mt. Gox out there. It looks like Mt. Gox is going to be a bit of a laggard payment out to, I guess, creditors there. So it's going to pretty much take a little bit of time. And, of course, they're only getting a fraction. They're getting a fraction of what they had, but obviously the price of Bitcoin is so much higher. So it's actually worth more than when they had it in 2014, 2012. Yeah, we'll see how we go there. What else there? So, yeah, Mt. Gox hanging over the Bitcoin, but, of course, the Ethereum there is a positive for Bitcoin there. That being said, of course, we've also got Runes protocols and Mincoin for the first season on Bitcoin. Obviously, once we get through this volatility period, we got a chance of really going up to the right. And at the moment, we've got Dog Go to the Moon has pulled back 9%, along with the rest of them, Dogecoin, the rest of them. We're going to talk about that in a bit more detail. We can see it's down at 8.07 sats at the moment. We are picking that for the win because it's got not only is it going to make sense to have the most valuable meme coin on the most valuable chain, that being Bitcoin, and you got that big, arguably, liquidity, inverted commas, in the Bitcoin, obviously with all the wealthy people there, but also the fact that it's still got a lot of tier one listings to add on. We also see the first BRC20, if you guys remember this technology. So Runes Protocol is like 2.0. And BRC20s and ORC20s are like 1.0, and that's from last year, right? So this really is the first season that for meme coins on Bitcoin, and utility coins and stable coins and other things like that could be leveraged off that too, because we've got Bank of Nakamoto Dollar, right? That's a kind of an attempt to be a stable coin on the chain on Bitcoin. So we're going to see a lot of different things happen for the first time. So it just makes a lot of sense there. That's why we're backing that. The other thing is not only does it have all the tier ones expected to launch, and they had another exchange launch last night. So getting 2 or 3 exchanges a week. And of course, we're waiting for those big heavyweights as well. Had a couple of heavyweights, but we're really waiting for the bulk of them to land. And so we're looking forward to that. It's got all the right components to be a winner as well. Got the huge community, huge founder, all the rest of it. So and of course, controls some of the big platforms, or at least influencers, like Or.io and others like that with Leonidas. So looking forward to that. At the moment, the market cap 450 million. So the next move, obviously, the big one is to get over $1 billion, and then of course that would be about 1 cent, and then of course to rally out of that all the way up for maybe 20, 30x after that, maybe even 100x. Maybe that's going to be the first at the top of the bull cycle we're talking about. Maybe it becomes the first meme coin at $100 billion meme coin. And of course, we know that Dogecoin got pretty high. I just can't remember the number now. Was 67 million, somewhere in there, 70 billion. Sorry. So we know it's possible at the top. These are very short periods that they hold this level, but maybe even a day or 2 days. Yeah, that's what we're looking for there. We got some of the other leaders there. We do have Pups World Peace up 34%. So there is some shining light here on the Runes top 10. We got Epic up 1.7%, $1 billion cat up 5.3. Low bit of Wolf Pup, my other favorite one, is down 11%. Kind of tends to move a lot with the Dogcoin because they are kind of related. They both got airdropped together to Rune holders. And Decentralized, the big Ethereum team at number 9, down 9%, and Satoshi Nakamoto, a big branding name, of course, it's down 6% at the moment. Those are the top 10 on the meme coins and utility coins. But let's go to the collections. At the moment, we've got Runestone back to number 1 there, actually holding up pretty well, actually, the old Runestone. Now, the Runestone, if you'd had that, you would have been playing around with ordinals back in February, March, April last year kind of thing. You would have got that for free, folks. And, of course, we covered that. We're the only influence in the Pulsechain Hex community to be covering that, and that's why we're still covering it. So there we go. And, of course, that's doing pretty well on the floor there. $657 at the moment to get those. When they first launched, they peaked out at 6,000, but, of course, now they've got Dog as well, so the value's been split off a little bit as well. Those are the top 10 at the moment on the NFTs. So Build Cats, Bitcoin Puppets, Node Monks, Bitcoin Punks, etc., all the way down to Quantum Cats there at number 10. Those are the kind of NFTs, and the runes there, kind of the meme coins, all right? And there's a few utility coins and stuff in there too. Some mining tokens and stuff like that. It's a bit of a mixture, but a lot of meme coins. All right, that is it on Magic Eden. So if you want to check that out, I'll post a link in the chat. Definitely something not to miss. Now, obviously, we've got to pull back in the market so that, and meme coins are a leverage play, so they're pulled back as well. So it's just a good time to pick some up, right, when they're cheaper. Pretty much it. All right, let's see here. Let's see, we've got Tintop in the house as well. What's up, Mexicans? Good to see you, Tintop. Hope you are doing well. And who else there? Wookie is all in the family there. Wookie is doing pretty well in the family, actually. Big shout out to you. What else there? Tintop says, I, for one, am glad to DCA at the low, says Tintop. Yeah, it's always a good idea to do that. We had some people in Discord doing that. Was it yesterday or the day before? Picking up a lot of on the pullback. It must have been the day before when we had that pullback, picking the bottom off. Morning, everybody, from Andrew. Hope for some good news from RH trial this week. That's right. So we have Richard Hart's trial this week. So we'll probably talk about that when we get up to the Pulsechain stuff. So that is another big deal. Thanks, Andrew, for reminding me of that. What else there? I think that's it. So let's move forward. We're going to get into Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment below the 200-day moving average in blue as well, just like Bitcoin. And it currently sitting at resistance, really around resistance in the area from $2,870, let's say, up from there. And I guess if we go down the next period, we're down to 2,680 or so. That's kind of horizontal support there at the moment. But of course, Ethereum doesn't have the Mt. Gox so much, although that's indirectly impacts. But they do have the Ethereum ETF expected potentially this week, or at least this month. But this week currently, if we get a nice surprise there, then it could happen this week sometime. Let's see what happens there. Could be very welcome news. Of course, that's a big inflow of funds potentially, and that could ramp up as well. Now, we know typically that the third quarter is typically weak for crypto. July, August, September. September is the worst, pretty much the worst month historically. That being said, we typically know that after a Bitcoin halving, it's a little different. We typically have a couple of months of volatility, 2-3 months or so. This is a little bit different, of course, because this year we've also got the Bitcoin ETFs. We've got the Ethereum ETFs that are bullish. We've obviously got Bitcoin runes that's kind of bullish, so we just talked about that. But on the negative, we've got Mt. Gox, right? So Mt. Gox actually looks like after many years of procrastinations, finally starting to leak into the market. And of course, what happens there, right? So what was it, about $4.5 billion worth of crypto there. So we'll see how that I think it's just going to sort of come out in installments there. And that's kind of where I feel it sits at the moment. So, and the market, if that does happen, the market's more likely to absorb that and a lot easier without too much volatility. But at the moment, definitely a pullback on the Sunday. Will this week be green? Will we go green, or we're going to have a waterfall going? So at the moment, we've got a bit of a waterfall here as well. So let's see how we get on today and tomorrow. So tomorrow's probably even more important there to stop the waterfall effect, where you just sort of waterfall down. So we don't want that to happen. So that's where we are at the moment. So yeah, better outlook for Ethereum, and of course, maybe the Ethereum value stays up relative to Bitcoin. We'll see on that. All right, that's it. And then, of course, further outlook, of course, is we saw the votes in, just looking at geopolitics, we obviously saw Reform do well in the UK elections, and then we had the French elections overnight. Unfortunately, Le Pen did not, got blocked by the left alliance with Macron. liberals, I guess they are, and they managed to block saving. So we've got terror, basically left-wing terror over in Europe. So it's a bad concoction. But the vote has doubled, so that's the positive for Le Pen, and common sense, right? Common sense policies, safety, security, and prosperity. That's what she offers, really, rather than declining society that the left and a few others are pulling into the fray. The Islamists as well. So that concoction's pretty bad. So still moving to centre right. So that's general trend still in the right direction. Hopefully get some stability there. Obviously, the ultimate is going to be the US election in November. If Trump wins, then we'll get the people will be protected. So it's looking forward to that. And that will give us a bigger bull run for 25. So 2025 there is looking even better if we get a Trump victory there. He's pro-crypto as well, obviously. Genuinely pro-crypto. He's had a lot of people talk to him about that, and he seems to be very on board now, reversing a little bit of his ignorant position that he had before. The other thing is, of course, we've got interest rates coming up in September as well, during the worst month of the year, typically. So we could likely get an interest rate pivot there. So it's about 70% of the market expecting that. We could have really two positive outcomes. We've got 1, 2, 3 positive outcomes potentially coming forward. And we know that in October is normally the best month of crypto. And that could lead us into a really beautiful rally all the way from October, November, December into the new year. And last for a good 9 months at least, I would say. So that could be very, very exciting there if we get all those outcomes. So and of course, if Trump gets in, he's going to stop the wars in the Ukraine and stop any conflict trying to Middle East, calm that down too, because he had no wars under his leadership period, right? So back to peace again, and peace means prosperity and safety, and of course, crypto will bull run, right, even more. So that's the best outcome that we're looking forward to there. All right, let's jump over to meme coins at the moment. So the total market of Bitcoin at the moment, 2.07 trillion, down 3% again overnight. But let's have a look at the meme coins. They're all leverage play, right? So they're all down at the moment. We got Dogecoin down at 15 billion. Now, it was only a few weeks ago. This was up at 23, 24 billion. It's now 15. So let's just take that in our mind. Pretty crazy. And we're down 17% for the week, 7.8% for the last 24 hours. And it's still not stopped yet because we're down 1.4% for the last hour on Dogecoin. All the meme coins are down. Pepe is down particularly hard, 30% for the week, 15%, 24 hours. And Dog with Hat, they're down 25%, 17% there. Mad gains on the upside, but mad value loss on the downside. That's pretty much it, right? So those are some of the big movers. Brett token on base chain is down 30%, 17% for the 24-hour period. Book of Meme or BOEM is down 20% as well. Mogcoin, one of the new entrants, is in there in the top 10. Is down 31%, down 20, almost 19%, sorry, for 24 hours. And finally, Dogcoin, which we're backing for the win because it's got not only all the tier ones coming up there and the big liquidity on Bitcoin, but also the fact that it has the biggest relativity play in terms of market cap. Sitting at 428 million now. So if we got anywhere even near Dogecoin on the top of the bull market, bull markets just really re-rate in those months when it starts to go up. You guys know if you've seen before. So that's what we're looking for there at the moment. So that's kind of leaders there. We see PopCat that also came up pretty high. That's down 40%. So PopCat on Solana pulling back quite severely, 22% over the last 24 hours at the moment. So there's some of the ones there on the meme coins across all chains. Right, that was going to lead us into Pulsechain, day 423. Yeah, boy. Now, as you guys know, I had a day off yesterday, as I typically do, and that was day 422. We're going to cover day 423. Let's see, we've got any more comments? No more comments. Get in the chat there, folks. Get lively. We're going to cover the Pulsechain, and then we're jumping over to Mafia, talking about that game, which looks like it's just building strength to strength to strength, even in this down market at the moment. Let's get to it. We've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0401, down 3.65%, 40% of the mean sacrifice price. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0195, breaching that 2000 mark, down 5.8%. So we're at some really key points here for Pulsechain. And we've got the buy and burn at 913.1 billion. So that's still going, even on lower volumes. 4.51% of the buy and burn is now, of the public supply has now been destroyed. So that's good news. Regardless of what happens in the market, as long as we've got a bit of volume in there, we're getting some buy and burn, right? So it ticks away. The incentive token at $2.08, down 7%. Obviously, 3.65% of that is Pulse. The ratio is down obviously a bit as well, around 4%, down to 51,854. We got the incentive token at supply, just under 35.5 million incentive tokens, ticking away there. And of course, those are emitted from the V1 Pulse Hex farm, so ticking down. So Hex at the moment has been the weaker out of all of them for some time, but this is on the downside. But on the upside, we could expect some exciting things from Hex. Down 3.78% at the moment, 47/100th of a penny. We got EHEX at 13/100th of a penny, no change really from yesterday, not the day yesterday, the day before. And of course, probably similar yesterday as well. Combined price of EHEX and PX is just under 0.6 of a penny at the moment. So a real steal for that store of value play on Hex, on Pulsechain, and of course Ethereum, I guess, to some degree. So that is the results for day 423. Let's have a look at the charts. We've got the daily here. We can see the RSI is down on 30. So we're just touching that oversold period for Pulse, and we're on 4,000 at the moment. Very critical line here for Pulse at 4,000. Let's go to the weekly and see where that is going. On the weekly here, this is the weekly chart. And of course, look at this. Woohoo! We're down right there back in October here on the support levels there. We really don't want to break that. If we do, then we're looking down at 3,700, and maybe even down as far as 34. So we really don't want to break this. Fingers crossed we hold on to that. We certainly got a little bit of room to move on the weekly. And of course, you saw the daily there at 30. We're on 32 on the weekly. And you saw the daily, we're down at 30. So we could go into the oversold period. So we're pretty much at a critical junction here. I guess a DCA for the win here, or just hold off a little bit to see whether it drags down a bit further. Hopefully the bleeding stops after Sunday and we move back to green on the general market conditions for next week. So that's why I say the next 24 hours pretty important there, trying to pick off the bottom there. Obviously, the lower it goes, the more volume you pick up. And of course, when we get back to the upside, it's going to be pretty epic. So yeah, the other big thing, of course, we got this week specific to Pulsechain is the fact that the SEC response to the motion to dismiss is due. I haven't checked that today. That's going to probably be coming out in the next couple of days. We'll probably try and check that news feed and see what they've got to say. Like I say, from my point of view, it's their case is very weak. But of course, I'm not the one and the judge or the lawyers, and we'll see what happens to that going forward. We also see the SEC has been losing a whole string of court cases from the courts in the courts. So that bodes well for Richard Hart's case as well. So fingers crossed, the dismissal is what we want. And of course, we don't really want to move past that. If we move past that, we go to information discovery, and that will last into March and to the June next year. And not a good move there as well, because it just gives more evidence or more circumstantial evidence, at least for the team, for the lawyers to make up new charges or try to make up arguments supporting their current claims as well. Then, of course, in August, we're expecting Richard Hart's dream team of lawyers, including one of Elon Musk's lawyers there, to respond to the SEC's reply to the motions to dismiss. So fingers crossed. And then we come up to the big a big meeting in court case in October. So that's kind of the lay of the land at this stage. So we'll see how we get on. And of course, we've also got the Magic Cup ride, which brings me to the point about Richard Hart's video lately about buying ETH. And of course, that's exactly what the Magic Cup ride wallets have done. So let's see. And of course, they're going to ride through this low, right? We've just gone below 3,000. Of course, they bought somewhere in the middle of $3,000 mark for a lot of the ETH with the DAI. And so let's see how we go. Obviously, if the price rallies up to the upside, which is what we're expecting, particularly by October onwards this year, then that should be very, it will come back around basically, and we'll get that Magic Cup ride played. Now, when he triggers the Magic Cup ride, it's going to depend on maybe the SEC, and maybe depend on the market conditions, all that sort of stuff. So we'll just wait and see there. In the meantime, I guess just accumulating these lows and picking up your volumes for the eventual run, right? If you remember Hex back in the day, we had the big payday, and of course the market, we had people trying to front run that, and then of course we had high staking went up to like 97, 98%, and then of course by the OA counts and stuff, and then of course that diluted the yield for people. Instead of getting 200-300%, they got like 30%, 35%, and we may see this sort of gamification going on. We'll see how we go there. So that's Pulse. Pulsex at the moment, similarly there, still looking better though, right? Pulsex looking way better. I mean, look at that high low. That high low is so much better than Pulse, so still relatively better based on the charting, compared to December here when we're down at 1400, and compared to September here when we were had lost the zero and we were down below 0001. So still looking pretty good up here, just below 2000 at the moment with 4 zeros. Fingers crossed we can hold it here, but certainly at the bottom of that range, but we haven't really breached it yet. So that's kind of good news there. Like I say, if we do breach, we're going down to 17 to 1800. That's on the next one. If we breach that, obviously we're talking about 1500, right? So fingers crossed we hold this. We are breached to 2000 on the weekend end of this, so fingers crossed. But anyway, we're currently at 37 on the RSI on the weekly. Looking at the daily is way stronger than Pulse. Look, we're down up at 40. Pulse is down at 30, and we're up here on 40 on Pulsex, so looking better at the moment. Now, we didn't get this bullish signal across here, the yellow line, which is the 13-day moving over the 34-day. So we haven't seen that yet as well. All I'll say about the moment, nice accumulation zone for Pulsex. It might go down a bit further potentially. I go 17, 1800 and just more accumulate. The DCA getting massive volumes at the moment. All right, that is that. It's down 5.7% for the day. So that's kind of where it is, just slightly more than Bitcoin and Ethereum were. Let's jump over to Incentive Token. This has been doing very well, and it's still in the range. It's come off the top of the range, but you can see here on the daily, look at this, and this range here, look at that. So it's still just ticking away here. I'm impressed, man. Incentive Token actually doing really well. Obviously, the yield on the farms, we checked out that the other day. 2 days ago, we looked at the Pulsex farms yields. They still look pretty good. So everything going pretty well here with the Incentive Token there. Let's go to the PHEX here. PHEX down at 46/700th of a penny. We have hit the 30 mark here, so almost in oversold territory. But definitely, fingers crossed we hold this line as well. Super cheap to pick up HEX at the moment. Man, the volumes in crazy volumes here. Currently just below 4700th of a penny, down 3.75. So not as bad as Pulsex at the moment on 24 hours, but still down. And it's actually less than the move in Bitcoin down. So there we are, 3.75. EHEX as well, down to 1300 a penny, right at the bottom of the range, and the RSI down at 35 on the weekly. Once again, both of them, accumulation zones, and they're actually EHEX is only down 1.5%, so that's not, what was Bitcoin 4.5%, 4%, and the Pulsex there 5.7, so 1.5%. Actually, the HEX is showing some resistance at the moment. Fingers crossed. But anyway, good accumulation zone for HEX there. I know a lot of people in the retail book at least been trying to accumulate little bits of volume down here. All right, that is pretty much it for day 423. Let's get into some of the other key sectors that we look at on Pulsechain. We're going to look at the derivatives of HEX. And of course, we can see that we've only got ICOSA that is green, and that's on Ethereum chain, up 2.5%. And the Trio, the 3-year HEX mining pool, is up just under 1% here at the moment on Pulsechain. Those are kind of the standouts there. Looking to stablecoins. Now, stablecoins, this is where I think there's huge opportunity. Obviously, we covered Mafia, right? But I've obviously covered the PUSD algo sacrifice, which is currently in a limbo, right? We've got to get up to certain targets for that. We know that Jacob wants to go beast mode on that at some stage. So that's something else. Maybe he'll off the back of Mafia potentially. We'll see. But of course, I will go to do another video about PUSD algo maybe later this week. Because once we get to a certain sacrifice level, that project can get up and running. It needs to have about 4 or 5 liquidity pools. My guess is they need to be around $200,000 each or so about $1 million target. That's kind of my guesstimates. And but I think that is huge. Now, if you've ever heard of the stablecoin trilemma, obviously we've got these big stablecoin forks. We've got USDL, we've got PXDC, we've got HexDC, right, from Liquid Loans and Power City. These three here, you can see they're all just slightly below peg at the moment. But the idea is that these are all liquidity forks. And if you've looked out there, Liquidity is looking at Liquidity 2.0. And of course, that's trying to address what they call the stablecoin trilemma. And one aspect of that is that these liquidity forks and fiat-backed stables like Coast, for example, which you can see at the top here, they don't do is scalability. They don't do that very well. And we've seen that recently in USDL, PXDC, XDC. There is a kind of a limit in the market where the market will take on risk in terms of those stable coins because of liquidations and things like that, because that rebalances the system, right? But it can annoy people, right? It can be annoying when you get liquidated and things like that. Even though you may be ahead because you issued stable coins and you kind of should be around even sometimes. And of course, you can go buy back more Pulse or Pulsex or whatever is the backing collateral. But of course, the stablecoin tri-limit, there is a limit to the scalability. And of course, we've seen with Terra Luna, even though it had a lot of problems like the swapping and human management, buying Bitcoin, backing, and all sort of weird things that they were doing there to try and do well. We know that if it can be done right, a decentralized stablecoin, man, it can really be. If you hit the golden jackpot on that, you can really do a good job. Now we know Liquidity V2 is going to be trying to do an angle on that scalability, but of course we know PUSD Algo has its own fully decentralized approach with limit orders. So we're going to probably cover that in a bit more video too. If we can get up to that required capital to set up the LPs need a certain amount of liquidity for that, then man, game on with that. So it'd be nice to see Jacob's view on that coming up. Maybe we'll try and get him on the show again to see his views on that, because I'm pretty keen on that one. That is scalability. Scalability means adoption of virality as well. It also means a lot of opportunity for earnings. And of course, in a bull market, you wanna get launched in the bull market when all the excitement, all the people are around, right? Yes, stable coins can be good on a bear market, but there's not a lot of people around as much. So you definitely want to launch that leading into a bull market rather than post a bull market. So we might cover that too. But scalability, lots of ways to earn. Man, limit orders, decentralized, sounds good to me. And of course, then you get rid of all the problems that LUSD did, and you do it right in a fully decentralized format. So looking forward to that. So that's some of the things at the moment. Anyway, at the moment, none of them are positive. Even the speculative ones like PDI is down at 2,600 of a penny. That's just come off 2,900 of a penny yesterday. LUSD is down 10% as well. These are the two speculative ones, and of course USDC, USD Tether following behind PDI. But LUSD is actually, it's kind of interesting. Look, it's been managed to hold its zone at the moment. Like I said to you, and even if it doesn't hit $1, I mean, this is the idea that it might try. And of course, they've got this big burning mechanism. The minting has been capped. It's going to be interesting to see that. Maybe $150 gamble is maybe worthwhile. And of course, you could pick up about $1 million, I think, for that amount. Now they're talking about burning 10 trillion out of 16 trillion. We'll see whether it does that, but we're going to have a look at the burn right now. We can see that the burn is now at 4.25%. So it is burning at a reasonable pace, even on low volumes at the moment. So it's kind of crazy. 4.25. It's almost, I mean, we know that Pulsex burn is at 4.51% of public supply. This is now 4.25. Now we covered this when it was below 4%, and it has just been rising. So yeah, one to keep a lookout. $150, it might be worth a gig. And of course, if it can keep burning, we shall see. Now they said 10 trillion within 5 months. I don't know if they're going to do that out of 16 trillion, but it's going to be interesting to see. Even that's not enough, right? In my view, you kind of need to get to 98% or something like that of burning, but it might actually help get elevated, and as more people participate, maybe its value can go up, right? So that's kind of the idea there. We shall see. There are obviously the whales to take into consideration, but that's kind of the idea. Maybe over time it churns its way up. Another format of doing that, of course, is PTGC and UFO, the DAO mechanism with all their trading and volatility trades going back into the DAO and lifting up the coins. So that's another alternative, and both of them going to be interesting there as well. I think the PTGC UFO combination is probably less risky, but certainly there's different opportunities on Pulsechain that you can pick off, right? Which is pretty cool. Maybe having a little basket of risk assets, keeping, I consider Richard Hart stuff more conservative, even though you've got the price down, because you've got the big fat LP pools, right? $40 million, $30 million, that sort of stuff. On the smaller pools, with cool tokenomics designs like PDG UFOs and things like that, you can put a little, relative risk, maybe 5% of your portfolio risk associated to some of these, and you never know your luck, right? They do 100x. Wow, thank you very much. And that's kind of the idea there. All right, so that is the stable coins at the moment. I think there's a lot more opportunity there at the end of the day with PUSD Algo. Man, looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll be able to press Jacob on that. Obviously his hands are full with Mafia and Pulsepot at the moment, so we'll hopefully get around to that at some stage. success breeds more success, right? So he's focused on success of Mafia there as well after all that he's learned through tokenomics. So that's coming up. All right, let's jump over to influencer coins. Now, I think influencer coins actually, someone ages ago posted a thing on X talking about X platform talking about the fact that they thought that something like 2/3, I can't remember the exact number, but something like 2/3 of the influencers in the Pulsechain Hex community, which is about 150. Some are active, some are inactive, but that they would have their own influencer coins. And we've seen that, which is kind of hilarious. I just think that's funny. I mean, it was kind of a thing that you could have just predicted, but the fact that they had they had a particular number put to it, and I thought that's probably realistic, actually. And maybe a percentage of active influencers that are still relatively active. But we got No Token is the best performer today. It's from Randy Lasky, of course, up 0.5% there. Randy does a great job for his no permissions followers as well as his full Pulsechain generally. I think he does a great job, up 0.5% there at 0.23 of a penny. And it's ticking away pretty well. Yeah. We got Ben Armstrong, of course, with his V1 copy of Pulsechain. That's just down up slightly there, but everything else is pretty much down. In fact, I haven't even looked at. We've got a crypto bestie there from Fashion Coda on Solana. I still don't know why she did Solana. I know it's the meme coin central over there, but still not sure why she did that. But she should have done a Pulsechain. Come to Pulsechain. Why don't you launch it on Pulsechain there, Fashion Coda? But there we go. That's kind of the play. The worst performer today is Bromance from Ben Armstrong. Also covering Pulsechain, so a big shout out for him. Hopefully, it's a big voice in crypto, so it's good to have him. Formerly the biggest, crypto influencer in the world until he got rugged or something like that by his own team. We got down 15% there at the moment. That is it on the influencers. Let's jump over to the overall results for Pulsechain, and let's scroll down here, pick that out. So Pulsechain overall, 6.8 million volumes, super low, but it is a Sunday, but that is still super low. And of course, we needed a bit of a turnaround, bit of a pivot in the momentum. We'll get it eventually. It's just a matter of time. And at the moment, we got the top performers. Leonidas is up 1.5% there. The meme coin, I guess it is. A rat there. A mole rat, 0.5%. Not much happening. No token from Randy Lasky, kind of the standout there with DWB up 0.5% on the trending. Total transactions 210,000. And let's have a look at the top volume. Top volume movers here. We've got any greens? Yet same. Leonidas. Mafia. Hey. We're going to talk about Mafia. So Mafia's up 1.5% there. Awesome tokenomics from Jacob there, feeding the vault, but also keeping the price up as well. And we've actually got stable coins. Can you believe it? PXDC and XDC there on the volumes there as well. That's hilarious. They're slightly green. So that's pretty much it for Pulsechain overall. That's going to lead us into some of the stats. We have a look at the gas prices at the moment, 125,000 beats, so pretty good, cheap value. Only 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsex swap at the moment, 100th of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 300th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So pretty good value there. Let's jump over to the validators. Like I say, with Pulsetown at the moment, man, getting 32 million Pulse and becoming a validator is a good opportunity on Pulsechain right now. So kind of cool. 48,367 is the number of validators, 1.55 trillion. So that's been like that for, 6 weeks now. At that level, and of course the chance to get a nice little passive income with Pulse, get that set up, a really good opportunity. Now you can get hardware through validatorstore.com. That's David Feder. His validators are currently 70% of active validators, so you can go through there if you want to get some hardware for that. It's all pre-set up as far as I understand, and he can help you with that too. So big shout out to David Feder there. Ultimately, the health of the bridge health. Well, we've got obviously Bitcoin down. So we've got ETH down, obviously, 4% approximately at the moment. So that's down. We've got the wrap Bitcoin here. That is down as well, down 4.5%. And of course, DAI there. DAI is actually holding up okay. We were over 29 million, about 4 days or so ago, but down at 28.4. That's holding up kind of okay because it's actually slightly higher than I think I saw 2 days ago. And what else is interesting here? EHEX, of course, pretty much flat at around 1300th of a penny on EHEX. So that's kind of the main pull down, I guess, is the ETH and the wrap Bitcoin there, pushing us down below 100 million. And of course, here we are at 93.6 million, which is pretty similar to what we had 2 days ago. But that's kind of our health check for the whole of Pulsechain. All right, so that is pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that at the moment. We've got other stats in here too, which I often don't look at. I probably should. But transactions at the moment, obviously down on the chart there. Active wallets down at the moment, 8,700 active wallets. Obviously, we know there's bots on the network too. And of course, Dipcatcher did some good analysis on the amount of bots trades on the on the Pulsechain. And we also know that Proteus has been very useful and some other wallets there with bot protection to try to mitigate the value capture there from bots as well. So it's not something you typically think about every day, but that's definitely some of the teams have contributed to allowing the bot value extraction from some of their bot protections here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, look at that. It's 171 million smart contracts, 32,000 verified smart contracts. We've had an increase of 237 and 51 respectively for that. Social media posts, we've kind of had a nice little uptrend here. I mean, what is this? This is July last year. Nice little uptrend there. I think we're still getting a lot of coverage with some trendings. I don't think we've had Hex trending or Pulse trending recently, but or Pulsex. But definitely we've got an increase in social media posts based on this data. Not sure the source of this data, but it's definitely up. A little decline recently, right? Obviously the market down. Everyone out in the community, including influencers, can get out and start pushing that up and get the interactions up. So a bit of work to do there in the lull, right? You know me. I stream any day, right? Any day. Doesn't matter whether it's bull market, bear market, up day, down day. Apart from a few days to take off, we just keep going, right? We just keep going until the magic outright plays off. Can I get a yeah, boy, in the chat there? Let's go. All right, so that's pretty much it on that. We're going to get into Mafia. Woohoo! Should we do that? We're going to do it. Before we do that, let's get back into the chat. Say hello to a few other people. We got Ramon in the house. Hey, Ramon. Sup, Hexco? Absolutely. Tim Tot says you can also buy a portion of a valid NFT hosted by David Feder on DGM Protocol. Yeah, I do talk about that from time to time, but probably not enough, Tim Tot. So you're quite right. Only 500,000 Pulse. Buy as many as you want. Absolutely. That's a really, really good point there, Tim Tot. I should probably talk about DGM Protocol a lot more. I do from time to time, but not enough. So yeah, maybe something I'll address in the future. Yeah, boy, since the top. Yeah, boy, absolutely. All right, so let's get it. I might try and leave a timestamp. I've got to try and remember that, leave timestamp for the Mafia section of the show. We've kind of got two halves now, the markets and Mafia now. So let's get into it. All right, shall we? Shall we do it? Okay, let's do it. All right, bam, 1, 2, 3, and let's go. All right. I love that. I love it. I love the machine guns. That's the syndicate for you. Everyone's afraid of the syndicate, that's for sure. And we got Nate in the house there. What's up, my guy? Hey, Nate. Welcome to the chat. Always a pleasure. Man, it's amazing how you get familiar with all the names that you jump into the chat after you're streaming most days. Pretty crazy. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to do a quick overview. I'm going to speed up the overview, really. But we've got the players here. 758 players on Pulsechain. 17 crime families. We've got a new crime family in the mix. And 3.4 billion Pulse has been hit in the vault there. 10% every week. Once the game goes live, it's going to go to the top 5 families, maybe the top 8, depending on how the vault changes over week to week. So that's kind of cool. We can see the leaderboard here in the top players, top 15. We've got Nunzio there from the Salamancas at number 1, Giveaway at number 2, and we've got Carnage at number 3 for the Gearheads as well. Nunzio there from the Salamancas and Frogs there from the Syndicate there. Of course, that's our family there. So those are the top 5 there. You can see the top 15 in view. Let's jump over to the families and the big news today. Obviously, the Mugnails were the first one to get the new feature Family Plus, which gives you lots of different perks. And then, of course, we've got number 2 was the Syndicate, the very family that we're in. There's number 1 there. And, of course, the worth there, 353,000 as well. So doing pretty well. Led by the most feared Don of all the Dons, Capone. Not only is not only people are afraid of him, but he is super genius. And, of course, he is super dangerous. But if you're in the family, he is super generous in the family. So if you haven't joined the Syndicate, hopefully someone will post the link to join the Syndicate in the chat there. But you can join the Syndicate. You'll have to be vetted. It does cost $100 to get in as well. But you get the benefit from not only the Pulsechain side, but also the BNB side. So you get the 2-for-1 deal. It's not bad, right? And, of course, the joining fee is, if you're accepted, is used to strengthen the family. Very strategic there. We've got number 2 at Gearheads from Giftedware. Very competitive team out there with Gearheads, Giftedware, and, of course, Crypto Kool-Aid, the game designer. Number 3 is this mysterious family, the Yakuza. I don't know, not many people know much about this one, but that is there as well. That is number 3. And I think Archie's has posted the join up. So if you want to join the Syndicate, do encourage you to do that. The number 1 family, the most feared family with the most feared Don, Archie himself. So big shout out there. It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
Number 4, the Salamanca's there with Nunzio. They're the third family to get Family Plus. You can see it in gold. I reckon they should gold up these fonts as well, just like we got on individuals. That'd be pretty cool. Number 5 there is, of course, the Hustlers, and they hustled their way into number 5 there, and that is Adept. And, of course, everyone knows Adept is another influence out there, Lick Gains, or My Life is Awesome. He's out there at number 5, so big shout out to him. So, yeah, pretty crazy. So, yeah, crazy. So, what do we got? 1, 2, 3. 3 families got some front people there leading the family as well. Obviously, the Dons are the number 1, so Dons rule the roost there. I'm not the Don for the syndicate. Archie's the Don, and man, he's amazing at it. So big shout out to him. And what he says goes. What he says goes, and that's how we operate in the syndicate. That's how it works. Archie says, thanks, Super. The best underbosses, capos, and members in the game too. Absolutely. Thanks, Archie. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. We've got number 6 there, the Mugnails. Number 7 is Grand Clan, Hansi Crypto. We got the OGs, of course, have got a couple families on this here. They've got OGs at number 8. They're really competing on BNB at the moment. They're at number 1 on BNB. Last time I checked, we'll check that though. We got the new family, this brand new family, Mambo Italianos, run by Gucci the Don. And of course, they're buying up bullets. They're buying up bullets. They like bullets on the market, so he's been buying tons of bullets. If you don't believe me, look on Gucci and see he's been buying bullets. Look at all those bullets. He loves bullets. He's got a Sam as well. He's got bullets to feed his little boss there, and of course that's the strategy there. All right, there's probably more to be said about that, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on and not talk about it. All right, so let's jump over there. We got number 10, Cosa Nostra. We got number 11 there, the Trump family, and that of course is another influencer, Brizology. Big shout out to Briz out there. And number 12, La Mano Nera by Tito. Primo Staccano there, number 13, run by Nico. And, of course, we got another OG family there, Sopranos and Escobars. That's all part of the OGs. We got the Chinese triads there, RPG, and, of course, another token ecosystem, the Greys. Of course, PDGC, UFO, and, of course, got Coach X in there. But they haven't really been doing much. So I'm not sure what's happening there. They've fallen asleep. I don't know. But that's where they're at number 16. But the new family today, Mambo Italianos. Isn't there a song about that? Mambo Italianos, something like that. Anyway, they're there. I'll move on. But that's kind of the action with the families. Obviously, people are still being able to buy crates at the moment. So they're $20. Not buy crates. You have to buy keys, sorry. I'm going to get my terminology right. You can buy keys at the moment. And you can use Pulsex, Incentive, or eDie to buy a key. They're $20 basically. And that allows you to get a lot of game assets. So you buy a key at $20, and then you can use your key. Your key will give you a random chance of getting one of these in-game assets like cash, bullets, health, shop items, of course, Mafia, OG NFTs, bodyguards. Obviously, some of the people are after. Chances of winning 5 million Mafia are pretty big. So not pretty big, but if you win it, it's a big prize. So yeah, was it $8,000, $9,000 somewhere in there is the price? I think maybe $8,000 at the moment, current price of Mafia. You got 10 OG NFTs, they're worth a lot too. And of course, you got bodyguards, helper credits, cars, and of course, keys themselves. 100 game keys is the top prize. We saw Lit Games there from the Hustlers win 50 game keys live on stream, so people can win them. We haven't really had anyone win the last couple of days because we're still at 39.7 million Mafia. We start off at 50, and of course, there's still 39.7 left, so there's a lot of opportunity there to pick up Mafia as well with the crates, $20 each to get one of those. The market's been doing very well. We've got $103,600 in US dollar volume, so we've crossed over the $100,000 mark. And the items sold have really kicked up into gear here. We're up at 1,676. So I streamed 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure that's about 300 more trades over the last 2 days. So there must be a lot of people picking off deals. As the market comes down, some people put them on for cheaper prices, and maybe that's boosted the volume. But anyway, it's worked pretty well. And of course, that feeds the vault, right? Feeds the vault. There are many ways of feeding the vault, and that's one of the key ones at the moment. There's going to be more in the future, and that is pretty cool. Total fees, 96.1 million pulse so far has been fees, and of course, acting like one of the best NFT markets. We've got 7 official specialized NFT markets, but maybe Mafia's NFT marketplace is crushing them all in terms of volume. All right, yeah, we can see all the latest auctions about to close in here. You can see the lists at the moment, so lots of opportunities. Some people are making money on Mafia just by buying low and selling high. It can be a tricky business, but maybe a very profitable one if you get a good sense of it. So some people are doing that as well. And of course, you've got the history in here of all the last sales that are in there. You can tab the last sales, get an idea of what market prices are. Also, you've got the market rules here as well. And of course, you can filter items as well. Check out your own listings and in trades and stuff like that. So pretty cool. But of course, the vault is what people are talking about. The vault is huge, and 3.4 billion pulse just being hit during live stream. So that is exciting. Spread the word. Tell your friends about this game. It is a great way of onboarding people not only to Pulsechain but to crypto generally. If they love playing games, they want to play to earn. This is a game for them. And there's always an opportunity to join a family. Families generally are pretty open-minded. Certainly, the syndicate is open-minded, and you can join up today. That's definitely a case there. If you want to join up, that is the syndicate there. And you can go through the application process, right? So check it out on Telegram there. You can also hit us up in Discord by just hitting up Archie, and he can respond to you as well, get access to the Don. It is a private chat group inside the Discord, so just note that. $135,000 at the moment, with price of Pulse coming down, of course. The vault value is still super high. So amazing. Imagine when Pulse does a rebound, this will just go up, up, up and away into a big numbers. So looking for that. The other thing is, of course, we know that the Mafia game won't launch until we reach 5 billion Pulse. So we're well on our way. I mean, we're doing so well on that path with only a few weeks behind us. It's pretty crazy. So doing well. Now, the price of Mafia at the moment, this is it on the daily. And you can see the fact that how many days we're through? 24 days. So, yeah, just 3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks into the Mafia on Pulsechain. And this is what we've seen so far. You can see some of the key phases. We're only still on phase 5. I'll call it phase 5 plus. We're on phase 5. The NFT market went live on the 26th of June. We got clarification around the keys on the 27th of June. And then we had Player and Family Plus on the 3rd of July there approximately. So we're ticking away. We are waiting for phase 6. Phase 6 is going to be the launch of the map. And that's going to be a fundamental stage coming up. And so you guys are still early before that. That is coming up. The map is going to be a big deal. And apparently it's going to really impress. We're looking forward to be impressed. So it's going to be really fun. Now you can see in the chart here, we're actually pretty solid here. While the market's going down, this is doing pretty well, this chart. And at just under 1,600th of a penny at the moment. Not bad. And it's actually up 1.3%, one of the few green candles up there. So we've been trying to back winners. This is definitely a winner and looking pretty good here. Maybe before the next move up, right, when that map comes out. So stage 6 coming up soon. So that's kind of cool. And the tax man keeps earning Mafia. There is a buy and sell tax. So we've got, obviously, crates feed the vault. The market feeds the vault. And we've got the buys and sells in the marketplace feed the vault. So you can see how beautiful this is set up. Set up for winning. And, of course, to feed that vault. And the vault gets bigger and bigger. The families get more incentive to play. The more people get more incentive to play. It really is good. So do spread the word about Mafia. Get out there, folks. It really is a cool place to be. Now, I'm going to post the link to Mafia in the chat there if you guys want to check it out. But definitely join up. I will be covering it quite a bit of time. So that is the link there for Pulse Mafia. Looking pretty badass. We've got a few other comments in the chat as well. So let's have a look here. We've got probably viewing house there. No audio. I hope it works well for you because I'm pretty sure the audio is fine. Everyone else seems to be able to hear. Maybe just be your link there, but good to see you probably view in the chat. Wookie the Blade. Wookie likes the blades. He likes his knives in the game. We got Craig Pitt in the house there. Hit the likes, folks. Definitely smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. So if you're on 3 different channels, we're streaming to over 10,500 subscribers on 3 channels. We're on Superman Crypto. We're on Pulsechain X, and we're also on Hex Token here. So definitely smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, share the channel around, especially if you like anything that I've been talking about. Share it around. Tell your friends to subscribe and come watch for future shows. We stream pretty much through, like I say, any market conditions. We keep streaming. We don't shy away just because the market's not green on a day. So get it in there, folks. Max Payne there from the syndicate. Woo! The Capodicina is in the house. Good to see you, Max. And welcome to chat there for sure. Feed the vault, says Max. Absolutely feed the vault. And of course, like I say, we've got multiple ways: the crates, the markets, and of course the buy and sell. Now the buy and sells at the moment: 4.7% buy tax, 16.6% sell tax, and of course that feeds the vault. You need a 5% buy slippage, 10 to 20% sell slippage. But you can see that chart is looking like a beastie boy. It's pretty cool. Now the cool thing I like about the sell tax is 16.6%. So it feeds the vault with all its capital, makes the vault get bigger, and then more people want to play to win the money. Passive income is a big deal. A lot of people talking about passive income earnings. And of course, it's a great place to be. Obviously, the syndicate's number 1 on the Pulsechain. So, you join up to that family and you're going to get easy access to get paid. And of course, you just got to help, fight the good fight in the game. But that's kind of it at the moment. And of course, the cool thing about that is that when it does sell down, the price goes down. It means that new players come in, got an easier price to get in, which is wonderful. So people come in and they get a better price and then it gets sold out. And you see what I mean? It's got a really good tokenomics. I really like it. Obviously, just spreading the word, telling people about the game, getting them to play. It's fun. It's going to be fun, but you can also encrypt. That's kind of the idea. Pretty simple, really. And it's got a wonderful theme with the Mafia. So pretty neat. Now let's go check that out. Now, if you want to buy some Mafia there, I'm going to post the link in the chat there. The chart is looking pretty good. Like I say, one of the few green charts. And of course, we've been covering it since it launched. So buy Mafia on PLS chain. And that's Pulsechain for those that are wondering if you need a pulse. So that is the link there to buy that. Like I say, 5% buy slippage, but what a good price to get in. The market's looking pretty good. Now we're going to jump over to BNB and see how that's going. So just remember, we've got 17 families over here on Pulsechain. The vault now is currently at the current price of Pulse, which is on a retrace, is currently at 133,800. And that was 140,000 only 2 hours ago. So because the price of Pulse is coming down, and that's gone from 140 down to 133.8. And of course, let's go to BNB. Have a looking at how BNB. Now, BNB is all based on BNB values. The cool thing is there's this kind of connection between the two, and it might give us some cross-pollination in terms of people participating on Pulsechain. I kind of like that. But let's have a look at the players. 855 players, live players over there. So there's more players over there at the moment. 16 crime families. They were equal, but of course we've got a new family on Pulsechain. And the BNB vault is 109.22 BNB, which is pretty cool. Now, I won't go through all the different sections here, but you can see that the only one with Family Plus at the moment is the original Gangsters. Remember, they're not in the top 5 over on Pulsechain, but they're number 1 over here, and it looks like they've dedicated themselves to the BNB side. We've got the Syndicate, of course, yours truly. We've got Don the Archie. We've got Max Payne, the Capitacina, and of course, yours truly, Superman, as the Consigliere, as we like to say, Consigliere. Hopefully, Cult v DeFi likes my pronunciations, because normally I say Consigliere. Normally I say Consigliere, but anyway, we got told. Say it properly. All right, we got the Mugnows there at number 3. We got the Yakuza, this mysterious family, at number 4, and we got the Illuminati, these globalists, at number 5, as I always say. Those are the top 5 getting paid. Now, remember, the vault, which is currently a whopping 51,800 at the price of BNB. So if the market's pulling back, it's going to go down. Obviously, if the market goes up, it's going to go up. Now, the thing is, because the vaults are so big now, particularly the Pulsechain one over 100 grand, it means that if price goes up or down 1%, it goes down to like $1,000. So you see what I mean? It goes up 10%, goes up $10,000. That's kind of the idea. But of course, on Pulsechain, it goes up even more, right? Because we're at up at 130, 140,000. So you can see if we get a bit of a rally to the upside, these vaults are going to get very big indeed. And so you got to think about the forward picture of this game as well. And, just start to sow your seed, as it were. I don't know, that's the wrong analogy, but you got to get involved in the game. I don't know, I'm going to get rugged off YouTube, but you got to get into the game early and see the forward future plan and, go for strength. Now, one of the cool things about strength is getting in the big families, right? And of course, the Syndicate is the most feared family with the smartest Don out there. And of course, Max Payne as the Capitacina doing a great job as well. So there's lots of cool things. We've got the whole family is great in the Syndicate. We really have a great bunch of people. So big shout out to all the things that you do in the family, and whoever you are in the family of the Syndicate. Big shout out to you. So cool. You can see at the moment the BNB vault filling up, 420,000 Mafia. That's to be sold into the market, and of course that feeds the vault as well. So the BNB is going to go over 110 BNB soon. Kind of cool. In fact, I can pull that. I'm not going to call it because better to let the price go over, but and then sell the Mafia, and then you get more BNB, right? In the vault. It's kind of the idea there. You got the cool charts telling you where all the funds are coming from, whether they're coming from the taxman or keys or the marketplace. So those are the 3 key things that are feeding the vault. And I think we're going to have more coming up in the future. And I think that's going to be exciting because there's in-game currencies to be played. There's the 2 new tokens that we're expecting, health and bullets. So I think there's going to be probably a few more surprises as well. We're probably going to have seasons as well in the game, in the sense that new things coming into the game. through the keys and crates and stuff like that. So it's going to be lots of cool dynamics and opportunities in the game as well. That's for the future. We've got the map coming up. As I say, the map's going to be a big deal. Now, obviously, you can buy crates on here too, or keys on here, sorry, for $20. Now, that's some BNB, USD Tether, and USDC. And you can use the keys to try and win one of these different prizes. Now, they've still got all their businesses just about over. They've got 56 businesses left. So say there's still a lot of businesses to be won over there. They're gone on Pulsechain. You have to buy them on the market, and there's not many of those anymore. Yeah, it's a big opportunity over on BNB. You can win obviously up to 5 million Mafia. No one has won any Mafia yet over there, so it's green fields over here. The BNB's got an opportunity. You obviously OGs as well, and of course keys as well. So there's lots of everything's over here on BNB. It really is cool opportunity. So that's kind of it. And what else are we going to say about that? The marketplace is ticking away there. Less activity on BNB, but man, things could turn around in the future. And of course, we're at $4,400, 45 items sold to BNB, and there's lots of things to pick up over on the BNB chain at the moment. Some good value, so you can always hunt down a good deal. Like I say, there's the history, so you can go check that as well and get good insights into that. Now, let's go over to the buy. Now, the buy obviously feeds the vault. It's got the same taxes as we see on Pulse Mafia, but of course, it's in BNB, and of course, that is the taxes there. It's got a different contract, of course. Just note that. And then, of course, this is the chart for BNB. Now, Pulse Mafia, so this one here. This was based on TYRH at the beginning, so that's how the allocation of 1 billion tokens got out, or 800 million actually. So that's how that got allocated. 100 million went to LP, and the other 100 million is the team's wallet. So that's, maybe marketing, things like that. So that's kind of the play there on that. And of course, the BNB had it wasn't TRH, it was TYZZ. The sacrifice had over $1 million, like 1.2 million plus inclusive of bonuses. And of course, OG NFTs were there as well. That's how they're very different. So you got different price charts. And of course, since Pulsechain launched, a lot more influencers engaged. We've had probably maybe 3 or 4 over on Mafia. We've probably had 12 or more over on Pulsechain. So you see the differences there. There's differences in charts and activities and things like that. So that's kind of at the moment. We've got 0003400 is the price there. So nice little entry. Like I say, the cool thing about Mafia is that with the vault, with the Mafia there on the sell tax, 6.6% means that if people do sell down, like you see in this chart, that not only includes people selling, but actually the vault selling, right? So the tax man sells all his Mafia, and that sends the chart down as well. But what that means is that new players come in and get a good deal, like a really good deal. It's like them even better than the start. You can see the starting price back here, and even better than that. So it's pretty cool. The yellow line here is the mean sacrifice price at the moment, so there's a lot of upside to that as well. So that's another positive at the moment. You can see the price down 3.3%. So cool opportunity over there. Anyway, food for thought. I've run through quite a lot of stuff that I've know about it, so hopefully that has helped some people. But you can buy Mafia over there as well. And, of course, you can join the syndicate and get benefits from the syndicate. Like I say, join the syndicate, $100, but you get access to both rewards at the moment. You can see we're number 1 on Pulsechain at the moment, number 2 on BNB, and maybe we'll be number 1 on BNB soon too. So it's something food for thought for you out there, especially you OGs, all right, so let's see. BNB chain. That is the contract there. Check it out. Remember, 5% buy slippage, 20% sell slippage. All feeds the vault, along with the crates and the marketplace feeding the vault as well. And in the future, we'll no doubt have more things like in-game currencies. That's another way of earning, right? So kind of cool. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Let's jump over here. We got, let me just scroll back up the top here. We've got a couple more comments. We got BNB, says Wookie. Absolutely. BNB, that's where we are. We got K Hudson in the house there. Pow, pow. Pew, 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 pew. I like that. It's like, you got pow, pow, but I got real pow, pows. Here we go. All right. So we got real pow pows. Real pow pows. That's the pow pows from the syndicate. Man, that's syndicate taking out its enemies. So you don't want to mess around with the syndicate. That's all we can say. Even Max Payne gets that one. Cult DeFi in the house there. So Cult DeFi is Jacob. He's the designer of Mafia, Pulse Pot, BNB Pot, obviously PUSD Algo, things like that. And he's got he is the front man there. He says a great pronunciation of Consigliere with my pizza and my macaroni and cheese and my spaghetti and meatballs is a consigliere. There you go. All right, I'm gonna get rugged. Wookie wants to rug me, but that's not happening, man. That's not happening. Max Payne's got the strong arms like that, and we got Hex Down Under as well. Morning, Superman. Hey, Hex down there. I hope you're doing well, man. Real pleasure to have you in the chat there, as always. All right, so that's kind of the lead there. Let's jump back into it. So lots of opportunities in the house. Obviously, the syndicate here, number 2. But for how long? We'll become number 1 soon. We're not Family Plus yet, but watch the space, folks. Watch the space. This is going to be fun over there. All right, and we've got 16 families. Look at them all. Woo! Now, big shout out to Crypto Pride. Crypto Pride's another influencer on BNB. Big shout out to him. I hope he's doing well there. Untouchables, and of course they're out there, so big shout out to him. Very, very cool. Nice to see influencers on the BNB there playing the Mafia as well. We had, I think, Cult DeFi had an influencer. I think his name's James. He's got 57,000 subscribers. And he covered it as well, so you can check out a video out there of his on covering Mafia. 57,000 subscribers, pretty huge. So big shout out to James for covering Mafia there. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. But man, oh man, let's jump over to Pulsechain. Let's have a look here. And of course, like I say, you can get crates. Crates give you a chance of winning in-game assets, including Mafia itself. You could win a prize at maybe about $8,000 at the moment, not sure. Let's get quickly a look actually and see. I'm going to give that a rocket. See how much 5 million Mafia is at the moment. $7,735. So yeah, it was up at $10,000. Obviously the Mafia price, but $7,735. Impressive results at the moment up there. All right. What else? I think that's it. What profile am I on at the moment? Let's double check my profile. Let's jump over to. All right. Let's go. All right, so looking good. All right, so that is it at the moment on the Mafia. So doing pretty well. Like I say, if you want to join a family, the syndicate are open. Some families are not open up to new members. That's fine. That's the game. That's how the game works. But the syndicate is definitely open up to new members. Obviously, there's an application process. Just remember that. But we're going to keep open-minded for new players all the time. We may be the most feared family, and there's good reasons that people should fear us because we're super smart, super clever, and super active. So that's definitely a thing, and we're super powerful as well. Let's not forget that. And of course, we got the holding number 1 vaults there. The other thing, of course, is that we're super generous, and that's the other thing. Now, Don Archie, he is just incredible at being generous as well. He can be ruthless on one hand to disloyalty, but he can be very good for loyal players. So the syndicate is the place to be. Remember, it is a game, so nothing is personal, but it is business. It is business. That's how we rock and roll. It's not personal, but it is a business on the old Mafia game. Just remember that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the syndicate. Just join us, and that's probably the best thing you can do. All right, so that's the syndicate there. It will be $100 to join. Of course, that goes to the strength of the family, but of course, you get rewards from being in a family. The more successful you are in the game, the more you do for the family, the more rewards you will get, and so you earn that at the moment on Pulsechain and BNB because we're dominating on both chains there. And more to come from the family. It's going to be pretty epic. So big shout out to Archie Ardon. Big shout out to Max Payne out of Capodicina. And of course, big shout out to Conta Legeri, which is myself. I give myself a shout out. What a crazy guy. And of course, a big shout out to all our capos. They're leading all our capo regimes. They're kind of our foot soldiers on the streets and running the bars and the restaurants and the casinos. Big shout out to them. And of course, a big shout out to all the Capodicinos foot soldiers out there doing the family proud. Big shout out to you and earning some good Pulse and BNB for your work. Hope you guys enjoy that. All right, lots of cool things happening. Let's see what else is there. Brian says, not pew pew. Yeah, it was pow pow, pew pew. Yeah, I know, but it is. It's pow pow. All right, what else we got? Have you not heard of Tommy gun, Brian? The Tommy guns are pretty much pow pows. They're not pew pews. Maybe a little handgun is a little pew pew, but not a Tommy gun. Tommy guns are pow pow. We'll see. All right, what else there? We're having a crazy day today, man. We're having a crazy day today. Kay Hudson says just business. Yeah, not personal, just business. That's the syndicate, man. Archie says wise words, super. Wise words indeed. Thanks for that, Archie. All right, so we're up to now 10 minutes. I think it's a great place to finish. Hope you guys have enjoyed the crypto market coverage, the Pulsechain coverage, the Runes protocols and Bitcoin memes. Really looking awesome. And of course, the Mafia coverage as well. Pretty exciting. Now let's just wrap up with the old Hex. So Hex at the moment, now I don't think we've got the data feed. Still not got the data feed for Hex on Ethereum, but we do have Pulsechain over the last 2 days. So day 1679, which we just read out. So kind of cool. What day is that again? I just got to remind myself. Just one moment, caller. I just got to remind myself what day we just finished. A day 423 was it? No, that's 423 maybe. So 423, 7th of July, and we got the price down slightly, of course, but the payouts have been pretty awesome on Pulsechain. 7.039 today, and yesterday 7.035. So pretty good results there for X miners. Looking pretty good. T-shares at the moment. Where are the T-shares gone? I've lost them. Where did the T-shares go? Oh, there we go. T-shares are down the last couple of days. We're sitting at 9.3 million T-shares in the ownership pool and the reward pool at the moment. Pretty modest penalties, about 65.7 million Hex in the pool at power pools. Hex.com, folks. Check it out and start mining Hex on Ethereum and Pulsechain. Pulsechain, of course, the magic carpet ride chain. That's kind of it. Now, liquid holders up 39. Miners down 6, sitting 123,568 miners. So I know one of you might be out there, be one of those miners. So that's pretty much it for the Hex payouts today. Big shout out to Crispy Man over on his channel. If you want full-on dedicated analysis of Hex, Crispy Man's the man right now. Big shout out to him. Check out Crispy Man. Really is doing a great job there, covering on a regular basis. So I'm not sure if it's daily, but it's regular basis, the Hex results. So big shout out to him there. All right, that's kind of cool. What else there? Wookie is 7. What is 7? 3 times you've said 7. I don't know what that's about. All right, are you talking about C7? That's 3 sevens. I don't know. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in Discord. If you want to join Discord, links in the video description. $5 to join at the Pulsechain Hex Discord. Get all the information, best community, and of course talk strategy and all this sort of stuff. That is $5.16 a day. Join up today. The other thing is, if you want to join Strategy Cub to cover multiple protocols, I post stuff in that chat there all the time about opportunities and multi-chain, like Rune's protocol and big dog meme coins. Looking for the big 10x, 100x type of coins. So you get in there on that too. That is $35 a month to join up for that. But yeah, a lot of fun there. A lot of fun. Max Payne says, consigliere. Consigliere. You have to pretend that you're watching an Italian movie or something. That's kind of the play. Take care, says the Lies Beneath. Absolutely. And I'll catch you guys again next time. Let's play out a cool video on the way out. What should we play? We're going to play out. Let's find a good one here. We might play. Have we got that one? No, I have to see. Where are we here? Can't find. Oh, there's. Is this the one? I think this is the one here. So we might play this one. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the Magic Carp right ahead. Pick up those volumes what you can on the pullback. Man, getting massive volumes for the upside when we do get that reversal in the Magic Carp ride later in the year. Maybe October is looking good. Peace out, everybody. Catch you again tomorrow's live stream. And bye for now.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.